Marcel. Man United won, Burnley won. Marcel, I'm gonna try my best to be my best version of Flex in this one and push back and ask you the real questions. Are you still supporting this? And why are you supporting this?
Am I still supporting the football club? Yes. Am I still supporting the structure? Currently, as it stands, no. I'm obviously supporting the manager still. I still think, at the end of the day, that.
Why are you supporting the manager?
Well, the idea of how we tried to play today was still correct. We created opportunities. It's just there was a lot of mistakes in the first phase of play, and because of that, we get into a situation where, okay, yes, for the most part of the game we were poor, but the last seconds, huge big mistakes. And
I've got to interject though, just for the people watching as well. So it's just making sure you get the pushback. You said that you enjoy the way we're playing, or you think the way we're playing is correct, knowing that we played like this and embarrassed ourselves in countless games.
Yeah. So what I mean by that is obviously the style of football. We're trying to push the forward lines higher up the pitch. But obviously it didn't work because, like I was saying, the first phase of play was just getting broken down, losing the ball. Maguire, Casemiro losing the ball all the time. Eriksen losing the ball all the time. And then on transitions, we just weren't able to cover the spaces quick enough.
But on whose job is that to kind of fix that? Like, who has to make a response to seeing that crap?
I wouldn't say I enjoyed watching the play. I'm saying it's the correct way Manchester United Football Club should be playing. And what I'm trying to, and it is Ten Hag's fault in the sense of maybe he should have played counter-attacking today. But that's as far as it goes, if that makes sense. Because when you put a set of players out on the football pitch, they have to be able to execute the passing actions. They have to be able to execute their 1v1s. They have to be able to make the correct decisions. And today, all the footballers, Garnacho, when he should pass, is shooting, or he was being very greedy. Højlund couldn't hold the ball well enough back to goal. Eriksen, Bruno, again, wasteful at times with the ball.
So right now, these are all players that you see as long-term players that should be part of the future. So if they're long-term players and the manager's long-term, well, when's this going to change?
Well, Wan-Bissaka not long-term, Eriksen not long-term, Casemiro not long-term. Because of the circumstances, as a whole, Maguire could potentially, you want to keep him on because all the other centre-backs, Lindelof, Evans, not long-term. They all need to be sold immediately. I think I already said Wan-Bissaka. Scott McTominay, again, because potentially of the circumstances, you might want to keep him on, but long-term, no. Just for this style of football.
Those are not the players that you said you had an issue with today in their performance, though.
So
you mentioned Bruno, Garnacho, Rasmus Højlund. These are like new players, and then the manager's favourite player and the captain.
We can mention the ones that were insufficient, especially in the defensive line. That would be Casemiro and Maguire. Eriksen, especially in terms of coming into that defensive line and keeping us, protected in rest defence. So that's 3 footballers there. 4 when Wan-Bissaka would make 4. So yeah, a lot of changes to be made in the team. And
you think that makes the difference? You think we won't be, because the ball out from the keeper, the goalkeeper's throwing the ball out from the keeper, and it's a straight shot on goal from that moment, and we saw that many times in this game.
Yeah, so I think you're talking about the moment where the opposition throws the ball out to, I think, one of their wide players, and Maguire has an option to either press and step in against the opponent or back off. And a lot of the times he's not brave enough in that sense of being able to step in and win the 1v1 draw and allow us to suffocate the opponent in their half. So those are little moments that world-class defenders, you can trust them 1v1, 2v1 even. Yeah. And, he's inadequate in that sense, but he's been very good overall throughout the season. And well, not throughout the season, but in moments in certain games. But in this particular football match, there wasn't many circumstances where it was a huge threat when, they have the long ball over the top. It's 1v1 against Maguire, which is always going to be an issue, and there's space being offered in behind. But, it's the upregulation of the quality of footballers in our team that I think needs to be worked on first. And that's clear as day for me.
So we talk about the team and stuff, and the last game we played Sheffield United, and everyone said the team played better because Rashford weren't in it. But we saw us go back to ourselves in this game. So does that Rashford thing even wash now?
Different system, different games. Each football match has its story. So, we played...
Was a different system to this one, to the last one?
Yeah, we played a 4-4. I think Sheffield played a 4-2-3-1, I think. And then today was a 4-4-2. So both centre-backs are always occupied. And then, the lack of legs in the midfield. Again, imagine three footballers against two, I think, because we were playing the 4-2-3-1. But again, Kobe, not that greatly mobile. Ericsson, forget it. Maguire and Casemiro, because they have to step in, sometimes they don't act as midfielders. You saw the times where Casemiro had the ball and drove with the football and tried to make good, correct decisions. But it's a huge amount of risks that this manager is playing. That could be his fault.
Is this style too risky for us to find success? Do you think that, do you think under this style, success can come from this type of risky football?
Yes, with the right quality of footballers, of course. Right now, you're seeing he's exposing those weaknesses. He's still trying to implement, because he's gone in certain games this season. He's played the Ole ball or the counter-attacking football, 4-2-3-1, very much pragmatic. But at some stage, he has to try and enact what he wants, and he's tried to do that, and it's a huge risk style of football. I can admit though that this could be an issue currently under these footballers. That could be an issue. His in-game management to a degree is an issue. His talent ID, yes, Anthony scores a fantastic goal today, but overall his game is not good enough. So, Casemiro's his purchase, not good enough. Onana's making so many critical mistakes throughout the season. We're saying
Amrabat.
Oh my days, Amrabat as well. Onana, Amrabat. It's just so.
But these are all players that the managers said, hey, come to the club and have a start career.
Yeah, I mean, Arteta's made mistakes at the beginning of his tenure. Pep's made mistakes at the beginning of his tenure in terms of talent, and still to this day, Calvin Phillips. And so is Klopp. So whatever that guy in the midfield is not that good. Not that good as we can see. So there's going to be those kind of issues at Manchester United Football Club. Can you? I do agree with the notion that there's a certain amount of losses that you can take without a season, and Ten Hag is allowing.
Are we getting close? Are we getting close to? He's getting close to. That's too many losses as a manager for a big club.
Yeah. And listen, if these other GOAT managers, Klopp and that, they finished 8th and 4th and whatever it was. Unless Pep's a little bit different, but he had Premier League winners to start with. We don't have no Premier League winners to start with. But same with Arteta, embarrassing starts to their tenures in terms of a body of work with a season, but none of them had the astronomical amount of injuries that we've had, KG. It's just that simple. They just didn't have that. So we're having to deal with that. You've got footballers that should be nowhere near the squad, especially with this dynamic running required. You've got footballers that he wants to purchase in the team or wants to put in the team. Martinez, that's unfortunately been injured. Or Mason Mount, that's unfortunately been injured. Højlund purchased injured, 20 years of age. So are you going to be able to reach the caliber or the demands week in, week out? Garnacho, young player, week in, week out the demands. Kobe Mainoo made a few passes mistakes today. Week in, week out the demands are they going to be able to do that at 20 years of age and those kind of things? So there's a lot to take in terms of the whole picture as a whole, and I like to throw percentages on things, and I would say the percentage on the manager is a lot less than the percentage on the players.
What's the percentage on the manager for you for the job that he's not getting, or the results that he's not getting out of the team? What's the percentage? How much would you put on the players and how much you put on the manager?
I'm at least I would 60-40. 40% on the manager and 60% on the players for sure. And we need that good work of if Sir Jim can stick to the contract that Ten Hag has and let him see out this work of the season, then maybe we'll see a lot of different style of play. A lot of these footballers have to go. They're not suited to this demand of football. Unfortunately. So we need to see that change.
All right, listen, thanks a lot, brother. Big up. Have a nice one, man.